Good afternoon. This is Robert with Blockchain Education. Today we're going to show you how the auto trading system works, the Blockchain Education auto trading system. There is nothing like it anywhere, and you'll never find anything this good. Okay, we're inside the system. We go to auto trading. And then we come up with the different types of signals. Hot signals, medium long-term signals, short-term signals, and official calls. Now keep in mind the official calls are the original system, which we used to call hybrid auto trading system. We called it that because a endorsed person that's endorsed by the company or an employee needs to handpick through the signals, through calls on Binance, coin pairs, pick the best of the best, and enter those into the official system. We're still doing that to this day, but anyway, we'll talk about that after we talk about the signals. Let's check out the hot signals. Now, all the signals that have came out recently, from the most recent to the oldest, up to 30 days, are located in the results area. Let's take a look at the results area and see what kind of percentages we're looking at for gains on the hot signals. Okay, it looks to me like XLM versus US dollar tether was just called about 1.5 hours ago. It's already up to almost 1%. MDA was called 2 hours ago, has already gone 8%. That's really, really good. Now we have Waves, US dollar tether, and Waves Bitcoin. Waves experienced a pretty nice breakout at the end of a descending wedge pattern, and 27% on the Bitcoin pair and 23.6 on the US dollar tether pair. That was only called a little over an hour ago, a little over 1 day and 1 hour ago, sorry. And then we have a lot of other signals. Anchor doing 11.5%, ZRX doing 5%, Waves is here again, called about 3.5 days ago. Since then it's done 30% since that particular call. Now a lot of the coin pairs that will end up in a long-term sustained uptrend, they will be called multiple times, every 2 or 3 days by the signal system, because it basically will look for the dip. It'll call the dip after making sure that there's going to be more gains, and it'll be called multiple times. There's also a way that you can look up certain coin pairs that you might see twice to see all the points when they were called by the signal system. So that's a pretty interesting way to use the signal system to find sustained uptrends. So as we go back 4 days, 5 days, 6, 7, we got a lot of really good calls in here. Ren 48%, 17% on Key, ARK ran 18%, Link has done 11.33% from a little over 6.5 days ago. And everything by the 7-day mark starts to really get into the double digits and looking really, really good there. Let's take a look at the other types of signals. This was only the hot signals. Let's take a look at the medium long-term signals. These say 14 to 20 days before they fully get to their full potential. And these are taken off really quick as far as producing profits. We have RCN just called 4% on GVT. A lot of really good calls here. Almost 30% on Waves. That was also a hot call, a hot signal. And then once again, once we go down to the 6-7 day mark, we start seeing pretty much all double digits, which I don't think any Any signals company anywhere on the planet can show you those kind of results. Okay, so let's take a quick look at short-term signals. Okay, short-term signals, it says up to 4 days. Some of these, though, will continue to produce profits. Waves was here as well, 27%, in just barely over 1 day. Just a little over 2 hours, MDA ran 8%. That's amazing. That was really a fast one. And that will probably go on to produce even more. 20% on Anchor. That's a great one as well, 4 days ago. And go down here and you just start seeing massive numbers after 7 days, 10 days. Everything starts to just go crazy after you get down there and give the call enough time to really see its potential. Okay, we'll talk real quickly about the official calls, the original hybrid calls that we had since I think February of 2019. These are, RSR was just called about 6 hours ago. It's ran 2%. It'll definitely run higher. ARPA ran 3.6%. And Link ran almost 16%. So we also have an archive section where we can look at the ones that have basically fallen off the call system and are archived. And this also shows what these calls have done. Waves has gone 14% since it was called. OGN went 73%. Of course, these are kind of back there earlier in the year. I'm not sure why there's so much space here. Anyway, these are all hand-picked. There's going to be a lot more of those, by the way. So basically, let's do the setup real quick. Hot signals is one of the best producing signal types that we have, and also the medium long-term signals. Let's go ahead and pick medium long-term signals, and for the setup, we'll go into settings. So once we click on settings, it takes you to the interface where you can actually set up the signal type. Now this is what you do. First thing you do, would you like to activate long-term signals auto trading? Click yes. Now the first thing is allocate budget. This is how much you want to dedicate maximum at any given time into this particular signal type. Let's say $500, for example. And I recommend splitting these up into 15 to 20 parts, just so you can make sure that you can get into all the different signals that come out. So if we go 15 parts, that's going to be approximately, let's say $30. Yeah, that's just about right. $30 per signal, 500 allocated, and this is just straight take profit. We don't want to get into trailing profit yet because that's kind of a more advanced way of having a variance and a trigger, and the price goes up, goes down, goes up. It'll take profits at different amounts. Take profit is much simpler. The best thing to do just to start out, let's say you're a new member, 15 parts as far as allocated, so about $30 would be about right there. I recommend 3% for an average market. Bitcoin is going to be going sideways more than likely for several days. So when the market is going sideways, and once the altcoins really start to pop, you can actually raise this up a little bit and then change it back. So just depending on what you think the market's going to be like from right now moving forward. Now remember, if you change this and you're in some different signals and waiting for them to be sold, it's not going to change it for the ones that you've already gotten into. It's going to change the take profit amount for any signal that you've not entered into yet moving forward. So anything from right now ahead will be at 3% straight profit. And stop loss. Now, this is kind of a thing where you have to make an individual decision. I really don't recommend stop losses any less than about 25 or 30%, and that's because the price swings in a lot of sustained uptrends are going to be pretty wide. You don't really want to get knocked out every time the price drops and lose money. You know, a lot of traders have said that the way to consistently lose money is to use a stop loss. And I agree with that. All you have to do to be able to not have a stop loss is to be able to identify a trend and draw a channel floor and a channel roof. That's it. That way you can look at the trend going up through the channel and say, oh, I see it's at the bottom. Now it's going to go up. So this is a good entry point, and it keeps you from getting out too early. It also keeps you from panic selling, and you're going to make a lot more money if you don't have a stop loss, and if you just check on your trades just real 5-10 minutes twice a day. That's all you need. Just check your trade. If you see a trend, draw the trend lines, or ask somebody in chat. There's always people in chat that'll be happy to help you, and just say, what do you think about this coin? Should I stay in it? Is it going to go higher? What's the outlook for it? And a lot of times they'll put up a chart for you and show you what the outcome looks like it'll be. So at the end of your setup, you just hit Save Changes, and then you're in. And that's it. So we recommend that if you're going to get into auto trading, you get into a maximum of probably about 2 signal types. Let's pick hot signals. So we do the same thing here. So we had 500 allocated, 30 per trade on the medium long-term signals. We're going to do the same thing for hot signals. We're going to turn it on by saying yes. Allocate budget 500 per signal 30. Take profit 3%. No stop loss. That's it. Hit save. Boom. You're done. So that is the setup, folks, for Blockchain Education's auto trading system. Have a good day, and I'll talk to you next time.